Welcome back to Hangtown. We are complete with our 250cc class today. Now the big motors and the big bikes of the 450 class. They completed their first moto about an hour ago. Let's show you the highlights of that before we get racing here in Moto 2. First start of the year. Shooting through the middle of the pack is the number 48 Honda of Christian Craig. At the number 2 of Cooper Webb, at the 25 of Marvin Muscan right with him. A bunch of other riders had problems. Justin Barsha was down and out. Same thing with Dean Wilson. But the rider that got it worst of all was the 21 of Jason Anderson. Had to take a ride with the Alpine Stars medical unit. Tough break for him. Eli Tomac comes through traffic to catch Muscan, is now leading. And here comes your battle.
Yeah, they went side by side for several turns. And you see Tomac on the outside just carries more momentum. You see Muscan tries to come up the inside, but just can't get it done. And you thought the number 3 had this dialed, but he went out, got a lead, and then this little bobble cost him some time. Just a little pretty crash right there. No harm, no foul. Keeps the bike running, loses some time, but does not lose the lead. Eli Tomac, Moto 1 winner.
That's what everyone was afraid of coming into this season. They knew that this guy would be tough to stop. So he's got the first moto. He'll have to do it all again here in Moto 2, and then we'll average the scores out from these results and the ones upcoming to determine the overall winner for today's race at Hangtown. Marvin Muscan and Josh Grant were second and third in that one. All right, so that's Moto 1. We'll have Moto 2 right here on NBCSN next. Opening round of the Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship for 2017, the 49th annual Red Bull Hangtown Classic. Jason Wygant joined by multi-time motocross and supercross champion Grant Langston and Georgia Lindsay patrolling the racetrack all afternoon. And we'll show you exactly what the racetrack here at Hangtown looks like with our MX versus ATV track map.
Yeah, we land in this back. Just after the first part of the track, these are the switchbacks. This is the right hand, and now you go up the hill, shift through the gearbox, do the Red Bull step up. As you land, these guys hitting the binders, trying to keep it tight, step down, hard on the throttle, and then some braking down here, big braking bumps. Right-hander, step up to here, and then pick your line, get your weight back, get a good rhythm up these rollers. They're getting very rough and tricky. Left-hander, step down, now some more, right. Hip jump, left, another right. A lot of switchbacks around here, got to have a good flow. As we're about to have a look at our course preview on board with the Garmin. This thing's pretty impressive. See the track map in the right corner there. On board with Weston Pike. See the miler now on the top left. Tomac in front of him as opening lap. Well, it gets hectic. You see Tomac on the inside. He was your race 1 winner. So just keep an eye on that and look at what happens. Final line, see that roost. I can promise you that hurts, especially up that hill, those rocks. Now right here, you see the riders trying to find a line. Early in the race, maybe 2 lines, but typically later in the race, sort of single files. There goes Tomac. Look at him. Slice and dice right between everyone.
That's what it's like, battling it out on a motocross track in the opening lap. We'll have the opening lap of this one right after the break. Well, after Ryan Dungey's sudden retirement, the 450 class is filled with contenders looking for their first Premier Class crown. Eli Tomac, Cooper Webb, and Justin Barsha. And Barsha puts him down. Headline a deep field of contenders that are ready to twist the throttle and race for victory at Hangtown. 450 Moto 2 is next, 30 a.m. Eastern on NBC. What a spectacular sight, and it's certainly a unique racetrack as well.
Talk about how important the start is.
Yeah, for sure at that one. Let's send it to Georgia Lindsay for an update.
Yes, now you will see that the 21 of Jason Anderson is on the start line. However, first moto, he did not finish. He had a crash and he cut right above his eye. His goggles didn't break or anything. They just slammed him and it was an impact break onto his eye. There was so much blood in his goggles that he couldn't see, so he pulled off, got stitches straight away after the moto, but the rest of him is absolutely good to go. He's feeling fine, probably a little bit annoyed. It was just literally the blood in his eyes. It was too dangerous because he couldn't see where he was going. So tough guy out there, the number 21 of Jason Anderson.
And you got to try to score points and get out here in this moto. Here's your KTM keys to the moto.
Well, Anderson might not be dealing with hydration issues, but I think a lot of guys will be. It is hot out there. Moto 2, hopefully you're hydrated. Opening round jitters in the 450 class. A lot of guys still dealing with that, no matter who you are. And of course, you want to have a good race rhythm. if you are hydrated, get a decent start, get those jitters out of the way, going to have a good rhythm and a great result.
All right, there's Kerry Bowling, got the Fly Racing 30-second card up. And once that thing turns sideways, the only thing that separates the riders from the racetrack is that metal starting gate. You'll hear the revs start to come up, and then the gate will go down. You folks are watching here on NBCSN or our new NBC Sports Gold app. You can watch every single moto and also practice sessions and archives of the last couple of seasons of Lucas Oil Pro Motocross with the NBC Sports Gold app. Let's go racing one last time at Hangtown. Muscat's got a good start at the 25, but Josh Grant sweeps through to grab the motosport.com hole shot. And you get a bunch of Suzukis behind him, Tickle, Bogle, and Barsha. And not a great start for our first moto winner, Eli Tomac. I don't see him at all. He's probably about 12th or 14th.
Yeah, he looks like just outside the top 10 possibly as they come over. But Tomac's so good in these opening few turns. We saw it in the first moto, not the greatest of starts, but put himself in about 4th position from about 10th as well within the matter of half, 3/4 of a lap.
So Josh Grant, 3rd in the first race, out front early in this one, ahead of Muscat. And it's going to be interesting to see what the 4th place rider Barsha can do. He came from way back. A bunch of riders are in a pile up on the first lap of the first moto. He came from all the way back, about 40th to 11th. Now he has started the race in 3rd. So let's see what he can do on the 51.
Oh, you can hear the fans. They're enjoying this. They're loving it. They got the horns and the hooters going, hollering and hooting. Where is Tomac? He was sort of just behind these guys. I don't think he quite had the opening lap like he did in Moto 1. I think this time maybe, and sometimes it's a bit of luck or bad luck, Jason, whether you choose the outside if someone runs wide and basically block passes you, it could cost you some ground. There is Tomac sitting in about 13th place, 12th place.
Wow.
Now 10th.
Yeah, got some work to do. Just ahead of Christian Craig, now trying to get the 30 of Martin Davalos, the veteran out of Ecuador. Tomac gonna go the long way around to the outside. That's not gonna work. Can't make the pass on Davalos. Meanwhile, up front, Grant and Muscat gonna try to get away. Davalos going after his teammate, Dean Wilson. Ooh, they almost come together in midair.
Yeah, I think that outside line was working early in the day. Now I think they're spending too much time trying to set up for that little step up. Personally, I think it's quicker just going inside and keeping it tight. Don't leave the door open.
And Tomac's going to have to deal with all this traffic while these riders are battling each other. There's no room to make passes. He might just have to make room down the inside with Davalos, and he does. You got the 19 of Bogle, the 15 of Wilson battling. Nice job by Wilson to make the pass. Can Bogle come back?
He tried.
Not quite. So Wilson's got the 6th place spot. Bogle 7th, Tomac 8th. Tomac's got it inside on Bogle. It's awfully rough down there. Bogle cuts back across to block it.
Oh, he's got the inside. Has he got the drive to kind of get across there? No, doesn't appear so. I think, yep, Dean Wilson. That's what I said. Those lines funnel together, so at some point someone's got to play chicken and back out.
Oh, and then Bogle, just like that. Probably, where did this number 3 come from? Around the outside goes Tomac, and he's got another pass lined up, trying to get Wilson. Wilson takes him out of the main rut that Tomac wanted to get, so he had to slow up. Should try to not stall the bike or tip over in the corner. Tomac goes to work on Wilson again. Oh, almost off the track.
Wow, that's a new line. Well, they almost came together. I don't think Wilson expected to see that green Kawasaki next to him up the face of the jump, but you see Tomac, his exit speed from the center to the exit, he is just getting on the throttle earlier and getting the power to that ground. I tell you what, that Kawasaki team, they must have worked very, very hard on the handling and suspension, because I know it's Tomac as well, but that bike, it's getting the power to the ground, meaning that rear wheel's not hopping much on the acceleration. Those guys have done their homework, and the number 3 looks confident and strong.
But he also looks a little bit patient there after 2 pass attempts on Wilson. Almost ended up in disaster. Let's see where he picks his next spot. This is also a great improvement for Wilson, just like Barsha, who was down on the first lap of the first race today. Much better to be upright early in Moto 2.
If you're Tomac, no need for first round jitters. You've got the pace, and there's plenty of time left in this race. Over 25 minutes, plus 2 more laps. He's not out of touch with the leaders. sometimes if you've made a couple attempts and you've maybe, you know, not worked out or got a little sideways or loose, take a deep breath, reprogram your brain on how we're going to launch this attack again. Oh, and up the inside, Dean Wilson just goes around Cooper Webb. Oh, they almost make contact on landing there. Webb must have made a mistake.
Yeah, he had a decent gap actually over Wilson, and just like that, Wilson's back around. Webb is having none of it. He wants to come back. Webb, the rookie, first 450 motocross race here at the Nationals for him. Almost had Wilson back. Oh, I love the intersection of the lines here as these riders are battling, but also all the different storylines as well with Webb, the rookie. And then you've got Wilson, who is not a rookie technically, but has never completed a full season on a 450 outdoors. So they're all trying to figure out where they stand against each other. And meanwhile, the oldest guy out there of this lead group, Josh Grant, is the leader. Told us in the first moto, he's doing it for the vet guys, doing it for the 30-plus types. And Grant's got a 2.2-second lead on Marvin Musquin up front. Good battle here. They've got Brock Tickle on the yellow number 20 right ahead of them. The RCH Yoshimura Suzuki. Wilson is making some progress here. Shaking off the challenge from Tomac, getting around Webb, catching Tickle.
I know this has been completely hectic at the moment. Have a look at the top 10. It won't look exactly the same way by the end. Guarantee that. There's going to be some paint swapping and riders moving forward, some moving back. Brock Tickle, great ride at the moment, sitting there in that 4th place. Dean Wilson with a decent start, showing us he's got the pace. And now Dean Wilson didn't start the season as a factory rider. He was a privateer doing it on his own. And actually had a chance to talk to him one point. I said, keep doing what you're doing because somebody is going to recognize that you're going to get that ride that you want. Lo and behold, shortly after that, the Rockstar Husqvarna team called him up and said, you're our guy, we want you in there. And he hasn't disappointed.
No, and he's told me over and over the goal this year is to get through the season uninjured first, because that has been tough on him the last couple of years. But we used to always joke with Dean, he can work with speed. The one lap speed, the burst, that used to be his specialty. We'll see if it's still there when he needs it today. Back to our leader, Josh Grant. And lurking in second is Marvin Musquin, the Frenchman. Right now, Josh Grant would be in line to win today's overall with a 3rd and a 1st. Not won an overall in a very long time. It was actually Redbud in 2009. The last time Josh Grant won one of these things overall. So that's a long time. That could be a record distance between race wins. But it's very early in it. If Musquin can pass him, Musquin would be the overall winner. And you still have to, of course, respect Tomac won the first race. So he's not out of contention as well.
No, he's not. Not at all. You can see the leader, they're 2nd. Bosch is 3rd. Then Tickle in 4th. Wilson 5th. Webb, Tomac. But the only thing that surprised me a little bit with Tomac is, I guess with his pace and what we expect, this is either not his best of starts to a moto or he's being very patient at the moment because he's sort of sat there.
Yeah, I mean, he blasted through these guys in the first race. Wilson continues to blast forward. He's got Tickle. No, he doesn't. An outside line didn't work.
He's got Tickle, but Tickle's got him.
I say Tickle. Don't let the name fool you. He is serious business when he's out on the racetrack. He's not going to make it easy on Wilson, as you can see. Good job to go from the left to the right and hold him off.
Silent assassin, I like to call him. He's a guy that doesn't have all the accolades and tons of championships and a bunch of hype, but he's always right there. If you look over the leader's shoulders, there's usually the number 20 in the background. Brock doing a great job on that RCH Suzuki factory racing. Dean Wilson having a scrap, and then these guys are riding so good. The guy that we expected to dominate has just sat behind them for lap after lap now.
Yeah, how
Eli
long?
Tomac.
I understand the question you're asking. Is Tomac just being patient, or are they just matching his speed? We're not sure. Is he going to unleash some fury, or are they all just basically locked into the same pace? And this is as far forward as he can go. We're going to find out here real quick. Looks like he wants to go back after Wilson.
And let's not take anything away from the guys in front of him as they almost come together. Oh, Dino! Attaboy!
Nice.
Inside, scrub that jump. That was a glimpse of the Dean Wilson we've seen in years gone by. That was a confident move right there, and a beautiful one at that. Probably caught Tickle off guard, caught me off guard. Now Tomac's going, gee, well, he just did that. I won the first moto. Let me give it a shot. Let me go around the outside.
Oh, he's starting to put it together now. Tomac, a series of outside lines. He really went the long way around, but still made it work against Pickle. So that will put Tomac into 5th. But how about the renaissance here from Dean Wilson, the 2011 champion of the 250 class, and then injury after injury after injury in the years since. And ironically enough, that run of injuries started with a big battle between he and Eli Tomac in Supercross in 2012. They were banging bars hard in a series of battles, and finally Tomac put Wilson on the ground. Wilson hurt his shoulder. Took forever for that thing to finally get healthy. Then a series of knee injuries. Wilson has just been trying to rebuild himself, but this is a vintage Dean Wilson-like ride. But how long can he hold Tomac off? Because you can see Tomac is starting to put in the charge.
I think Tomac got the message. It's go time.
Yep.
And he seemed like he was struggling to find the rhythm, but now you can see he's in attack mode. Dean Wilson riding great, but look at the distance they've already put on Tickle. But this is when Eli Tomac is his most dangerous. When he's like a shark, just going after prey. He is relentless. He will not give up. And there's some people, or some sharks may back off and go, hey, I'm going to save my energy because I don't want to starve myself. Eli's the kind of guy going, I'm getting this fish no matter what. And he's going after it. Dean Wilson is his fish at the moment.
Yeah, he's not a lazy shark. No doubt. He's going to keep coming after it. Down to the inside. But Wilson doing a great job. Wilson knew exactly where he wanted to go.
Oh, this is great racing. Wilson looks over his shoulder. Watch this. Tomac's going to be on the outside. Who is going to leave the brakes to the latest? Wilson's on the inside. Tomac has to give. Now he's going to square him up. Is he going to do the crossover? He's going to try. Will Wilson keep it tight? Tomac to the inside. Keeps it tight. Wilson runs wide.
Whoa. What a line from Tomac. I don't know if anyone's been able to run it that low in that corner. And he did it and kept up pretty good corner speed despite being so far to the inside. Wilson tried so hard and did everything right. And Tomac still got him. All right, so the Shark is up to 4th. Next on his list, will it be Barsha? Can he get him? Stay with us. Tomorrow, the networks of NBC team up to bring you English football's grand finale, the Premier League Championship, Sunday at 10 Eastern. Part of NBC Sports Championship season, presented by Canada Dry Ginger Ale. Josh Grant trying to turn back the clock here at Hangtown, and also trying to turn back the challenge from Marvin Musquin. Grant, he turned pro at this race way back in 2004. It was a spectacular debut. He led the majority of his first pro race until his bike stalled. That was when he was the fresh-faced teenager. Now he's the 30-something veteran, a couple of kids and a wife at home, trying to win this race on the 33. He's halfway there. 15 minutes down, 15 minutes to go. So I can remind you that in 15 minutes, you can save 15% on your insurance with Geico. Need some gap insurance right now. The gap is starting to shrink. Here comes Musquin on the 25. It was 3.7 seconds at one point, the lead. Now it's about 1 second.
Yeah, you can see Musquin starting to switch his lines up, and I think with doing that, he's starting to find some smooth parts of the track, which is enabling him to get the power to the ground. See, hitting that right there. But we see Musquin there changing his lines. And Georgia, what do you got for us?
We always talk about the fact that Marvin Musquin is such a smooth rider, but as Tomac said on the podium, in fact, all the guys have, and how gnarly these ruts are. Look at it, as we see Josh Grant going through them. They have changed from this morning's first practice through the motos throughout the day. They are ever changing, so you cannot fully always trust a berm you're about to hit or a rut. We saw Tomac go down. I think it was actually in that corner too. So the track conditions, Grant, as you know, they change throughout the moto. You can't just stick to exactly the same thing every single lap.
No, you hit the nail on the head there, Georgia. You change your lines during the moto, and then you may have been coming down this hill on the right-hand side, Moto 1, and now the Premier line might be on the left. And sometimes there is no clean line. You've just got to hammer the rough stuff a little bit harder. Trust your bike, trust your equipment, trust everything you've done. It's late in the day, it's hot, track's dry, it's nasty. You you know, dig deep. Right now, Josh Grant looks like he's digging deep, and Marvin Musquin looks like he's in attack mode. He can see an overall right in front of him. He's just got to get around Grant. Grant leaves the door open. Marvin jumps in.
Got the inside, but it's not enough to get Grant. Musquin has never won one of these 450 races overall. Last year was his first full year in the class. And so much talk about with Ryan Dungey, the multi-time champ, now going into retirement. Musquin is the team leader for Red Bull KTM. Can he handle the load? Can he win the race today to prove it? He's got a shot at Grant around the outside. It's going to be the inside, the next corner. And he takes the lead away.
Oh, the crowd erupts, and Grant goes straight back at him, almost into the back of Musquin. Now will Grant try and mount an attack right back?
Well, I'll tell you why this was critical for Musquin. We know Eli Tomac's coming. He's gotten Justin Barcia for third. He was 9 seconds down. Now he's 5.5 seconds down. Musquin could not afford to get into a battle with Grant. Can Musquin put the hammer down and try to stretch it to the point where neither Grant nor Tomac can catch him? And there's the shark.
There he comes. Chugga, chugga, choo, choo. The freight train is on its way. He is clicking off lap times. Look at that last lap, 2:13. Musquin did a 13 as well, but Grant was a 15. So Musquin, like you said, he's probably got the message that Tomac is coming in a hurry, and he is hungry for a victory.
Oh, this would be massive if Musquin can turn back the challenge of the Kawasaki riders and get this win and show, yeah, Ryan Dungey's done, but I'm here to play for this championship. But when you've got Eli Tomac bearing down and you late in the race, it's definitely something to be worried about. And you can tell he is on the move right now. Great racing here on NBCSN. Lucas Oil Pro Motocross. You can also check it out on the NBC Sports Gold app. Purchase the package at promotocross.com. You can catch every moto live and also our practice sessions live every Saturday, and archives of the races with NBC Sports Gold. This is some gold right here. Great racing in this 450 moto. Josh Grant, the 33. His teammate Eli Tomac, the number 3. And Grant absolutely not making it easy on his teammate. Tomac's going to have to earn this pass.
He made it easy there. I can tell that was a backup move.
Sorry about that.
I think it was one of those, he put up a fight, and I think eventually he realized, hey, you know, maybe it's better off than trying to hold him up, just tag in with him. Maybe he could basically get a tow rope and latch on to Tomac. Oh, you can see how bad. You can see how bad those ruts are. The leaders make it look not that bad, but as some of our lappers showed, it's extremely difficult. Late in the day, shadows are deep, heart rates are up, hydration is a thing of the past. This is all about guts and determination.
Yeah, for about a lap there, Tomac was all over Grant, and Grant made it difficult on him, and then he just didn't charge that corner super hard, and finally Tomac was able to get by. We'll show you why Grant was up front with our motosport.com whole shot replay.
Yeah, that certain part of the midway of the inside of the doghouse, call it 10 gates from the inside, seems to be the spot. We've seen all the starts come from there. Grant got a great drive, had the correct line. See a few guys. See Musquin just gets inched out. Then a gaggle of Suzuki's behind him.
Back to our leader, Marvin Musquin, the Frenchman. Tomac is closing, but not massively, although a big mistake from Marvin with both feet off the pegs through those ruts.
Yeah, well, he might not be closing massively, but look at the gap. It's almost non-existent with 7 minutes and 2 laps to go.
Yeah, he is closing massively now. That mistake in the uphill definitely hurt. And suddenly, Tomac is there. Well, that did not take long. It was just had to get that clear running room and get around Grant. And now we've got a battle on our hands, and you can hear the big crowd here at Sacramento, Prairie City Off-Highway Vehicle Park at HANGTOWN Motocross. We're going to see a battle down the stretch.
Oh, yeah. It's brewing right now. Fans are on their feet. You can hear the place getting excited. And we've said it before, Tomac's had some pretty incredible rides out here, so I think he's built himself quite the fan base. A lot of people want to see him do well as other riders. But I think in this place, particularly for a Colorado native, he gets a lot of love here at NorCal.
All right, Musquin's got to try to figure out how to play some defense here. He's got Tomac all over him. Tomac down the inside. This could be it. Tomac's got the line, but Musquin's on the inside of this next corner. He'll try to stand him up, and he does. So Musquin holds him off. Outside line for Tomac coming here. Can he rail it around?
Oh, here we go. They're going to come into this dip side by side. Muskin's on the outside. Tomac has the line. Oh,
No!
and Muskin leaves the brakes. Wow. Good job. And look at this. Tomac comes right back.
What a charge! And Muscan holds him up again. Oh, that could have gotten really nasty.
And the crowd are on their feet, just like we are at the moment. What's going to happen? They're going to cross over lines. Watch, Tomac will try and square it up. Give him a better angle coming to this turn.
Oh, but that little bounce didn't get close enough, and Muscan wisely gets as far to the left as he can. So great job by Marvin to fight him. As soon as Tomac had that inside about 5 corners ago, I thought it was over. 5 minutes and 2 laps to go. You gotta fight for it if you're Marvin Muscan. The overall win and the moto win, it's all on the line.
And if you're Marvin, you can't make those mistakes in those corners. Almost came to a standstill. He's going to watch that back and realize he made a bobble there. But it's tough. You got pressure. You hear someone revving behind you. You don't know where to go. You're trying to concentrate forward. You know that the guy that you really didn't want behind you is breathing down your neck. Look at Tomac. Different line. Sticks his wheel in there. The crowd is up on their feet. This is where you got to dig deep. If you're Muskin, you got to take a deep breath. Not panic. Oh, little mistake there from Tomac.
Yep.
Another tear off. Those mistakes sometimes can start sort of compounding into a sense where, like right now, you lose a few bike lengths, then Muskin can go back to running his lines, and if he gets that feeling like, hey, I just dropped him a few bike lengths, it's a little bit of power, you know, that strength, and I got this.
Well, you hear it all the time when someone catches you from so far back. They fight so hard to hold the guy off, and it's like, listen, you're not going to hold the guy off. He caught you from too far back. Here's why. Muscan fought back those 4 or 5 corners, and it has gifted him a little bit of a gap and a little bit of breathing room, and Tomac has to hit the reset button and try to come back after him.
This situation is a little bit different than maybe being 5th and 6th, like 10 minutes in the race, and maybe a faster game.
Tomac's got that same line again. Can Muscan stay on the inside like he did the last time? Now Tomac's going to square it. A little bit of contact. Muscan's going to have to hustle around the outside to hold him off.
There was a bump and run. Muskin's got the line again, and Tomac, I don't think, has the deal done. He got a little aggressive there. Now he tries it again.
He rode him all the way up the wall. Muscan comes back.
He hit the crowd molding. Then Muscan right along the edge of the top of that half pipe. Now Tomac goes to the outside.
I guarantee you no motorcycle has been up on that part of the half pipe ever before. Well, Muscan was almost into the fence.
Not all weekend long.
No.
I've not seen one person ever heard that. Look at that. This is what we love to see. Late in the race, both riders want this bad. It's for the overall. Bragging rights, maybe the would be tied in points when they leave, but technically Marvin would have the #1 or the red background. Look at this.
Outside line.
Oh.
Unbelievable. Now Marvin, is he going to just try to use the inside or go outside to block? Oh, it's Tomac's trying to square it. Everywhere Muscan goes, Tomac's in a different spot, even if it's not the good line. Marvin Muscan holds on.
You know what I love from Marvin right now? He's showing his aggression and determination. Marvin's always been very great racer, but sometimes I've thought he needed maybe a little more fight to dig deep. We said with Dungey out of the equation, he is the team. He is the team leader. It's his time to step up, and he is doing just that. Roger DaCosta and the rest of the team must be smiling with at least the effort and the fight he's put in, and the crowd, once again, on their feet.
Spectacular action, 2 minutes and 2 laps to go here at Hangtown. So it's probably going to be 3.5 laps before the checkered flag comes out. Now we know Tomac has a great line in this back section of the track. Is Muscan going to change the line that he's running to prevent Tomac from using it? Oh, they are laying it over deep into these corners, throwing it sideways. Outside line for Tomac here. Can he run it?
Muscan's going to grease the inside.
Oh, yes, Tomac did it. Woo, did he have to get on the gas hard to make that one work?
Their lines almost came together. Muscan had to roll out the very last second. Otherwise, it was probably going to be contact, would have taken both of them out. But Tomac, just the resilience, and just kept going after Muscan over and over. And hats off to Muscan. Made a great race out of this. Just kept fighting, kept fighting. Got to feel like these are the two warriors that are going to keep going race after race.
So Tomac now trying to stretch it out just a little bit. 1 minute to go. And then the clock will expire. Yeah, there'll be 2 to go. So 3 laps left. Let's see if Muscan to try to stay close, try to do something. You give Eli Tomac the lead. He's lethal. See if he can bring it home. Grant third. Wilson has gotten Barsha for fourth. Barsha back fifth. Stay with us. Eli Tomac leads here at Hangtown. It was a fantastic comeback by him. Started outside of the top 10, and once he got in the top 5, he had to work to make some passes. Dean Wilson made it tough on him. Had to get around his teammate Josh Grant. And then Marvin Muscan here in second of the number 25. The Frenchman put up one heck of a fight to hold off Tomac. Finally, after about, what, 5, 6, 7, 8 attempts, Tomac made one of the passes stick and is now trying to bring it back to the finish line. And then he'll get the white flag and would have a 1-1 finish. And it'll be one of those days where the 1-1 doesn't really tell the story. Everyone knew that Tomac was a big favorite coming in today, but Grant got to lead a lot of laps, now running third. Muscan led a lot of laps, now running second. So some challenges for Tomac for sure.
What a great ride for Josh Grant. He's got to be extremely happy with this. Ran great laps, great pace, battled the leaders. He's not expected to be the guy, you know. I feel like he's the only person that's behind the guy, which is Tomac, meaning on paper, a lot of people expected Tomac to come out and dominate. He's going to win today, but not in dominating form as we've seen in the past. Dean Wilson, what a fantastic ride for him. Rockstar Husqvarna have just got to be happy with the fact they picked this kid up. And didn't really surprise me to see him ride this well. Dino, with his talent, when he's healthy, with good support and some confidence, well, all these guys up front can ride. But he is former champ, definitely knows how to get it done. Here's another one.
Yeah, and all these guys can take something positive out of this. Barsha, very difficult Supercross season. Hurt his wrist before the year began, missed some races, and then when he tried to come back, had a tough time even getting into the top 10. So for Barsha, just a fifth here would still probably feel like some progress. Same thing for Wilson in fourth, showing some signs. Grant, that solid run in third. But no one's going to feel better than this guy, Eli Tomac, who's looking to go 1-1. And Georgia, show us what he would win.
Wow, these are probably one of the coolest trophies I've seen. 49 bullets on the trophy representing 49th anniversary in the annual Race of Hangtown. An 1800s Civil War dollar bill. We have $3 coins too. We've got 1968 coin, which is you know, the year they first had the race, 2017, and also the Civil War dollar too. It's an amazing trophy. It's an awesome historical fact to have with you and take home with you, and it's worth over $1,000, guys. So you know, this is an extra bit on top of the race win.
That's right. Yeah, that's a real from circulation dollar bill. I got to look at that up close on press day on Thursday. I think that dollar bill, the date on it is 1867 or something like that.
Why didn't I have trophies like that when I raced?
Sorry, well,
man, that is incredible. That is awesome. Talk about a piece of history.
The good news is how cool it looks, but I will give some bad news. They said the trophy weighs about 50 pounds. So after all the work Eli Tomac did in these two motos today, he's still going to have to dig deep enough to hold that thing over his head.
Oh, he'll
on
have
the podium.
No problem.
Okay.
He'll be okay.
The adrenaline will take care of that. Okay. So good job, Eli Tomac, to go 1-1, but a little bit more of a challenge than maybe some people expected. That bodes well for some great racing throughout the summer. Probably the only disappointing thing for him, no one was able to get that big 150-foot jump in the races this weekend. He just went over it there and did about, merely 90 feet? Jumping the triple? Merely.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe next year they'll be able to get over that thing. So Eli Tomac is looking at the 1-1, but certainly wasn't easy in this second moto.
No, not at all. He had to work for that. Before halfway in the race, it kind of looked like he didn't really have that race rhythm going. And then he figured it out halfway through, and then once took the lead, broke everyone's spirit. Now he can just coast to the finish line. What a way to start the season, Eli Tomac.
Here it is. He's going to go 1-1. Everyone wondering who will take over in Lucas Oil Pro Motocross. Eli Tomac takes over Hangtown, winning both motos, and he was the fastest qualifier today to boot. So he's back where he was in 2015 when he won this race. Was not able to deliver the championship that year. Certainly that's the goal this time. get too excited over the first win. You know what he wants. It's the #1 plate at the end of the year. So well done for the young man out of Colorado, son of American mountain biking legend John Tomac. His family has literally put in an entire lifetime for him to get to moments like this, where he could top the best riders in the world and take victories on rough racetracks, hot days like this at Hangtown. Immediately surrounded by the crew. There's his mechanic Brian Kranz there on the right, and downloading the information and celebrating a victory, which they hope will be one of many. Also see his mom Kathy in the mix, and we'll send it to Georgia.
Yes, I'm letting Eli Tomac take a breath after that race. Unbelievable performance from you there, Eli. The charge in that second moto, not getting the best start, but coming through the pack was unbelievable. How challenging was that for you?
Really tough start there, and just a little bit off balance on the other side of the gate. Ended up being buried pretty far deep, and then at that time it was just go time. Had to pick them up one by one. That moto was a lot tougher than the first, being in all the roost and the dirty air, and made the charge of Marvin, and he held me up. I mean, held up a good fight, I should say, for a few laps there, and ended up getting them. This is the day we wanted. Thank you, Monster Energy Kawasaki, and roll on to Glen Helen.
Now, Jason and Grant are calling you the Shark. You were coming through there. They could see you coming, and they had confidence that you were going to be able to come through there. What is it during the moto that gives you that extra charge to come through and really push?
I guess it's knowing what you're capable of, and that was the first moto, getting that lead, so just never gave up.
Huge congratulations. Eli Tomac, I'll let you celebrate, taking 1-1 in the 450 class.
And the Shark was able to eat them up today. The other fish did everything they could to try to escape, but Tomac got it done this time, and they'll have another shot to try to stop them just in 1 week's time. We'll be at Glen Helen in Southern California. But the race in NorCal and the big trophy that goes with it, well, that one belongs to Eli Tomac. I'm sure he's going to put that one in a pretty safe place at home. Back at Hangtown, the bikes, the riders, the teams, and the fans have gathered at the podium, and Georgia Lindsay has as well. We'll send it to her.
Yes, Marvin Muscan, congratulations. 2-2 for second overall. I know it's been a hot race. I know the fans out here are super hot, but you managed to get through that, taking second place. I know you got passed by Eli Tomac, but how was it for you and leaving right now?
I'm really happy to leave Hangtown second overall. With good starts, I'm really happy. I really want to thank Red Bull KTM team, and they put a lot of work in it for me right now. With Ryan retiring, but he's right there for me if I need. So I appreciate that. Thanks, Ryan, and I'm happy to start the season like that. It was hot, but we fight through it. Eli was strong. Nothing I could do. Missing a little bit of speed at the end, but we try to be consistent, the whole moto, and second overall today, battling with Eli, it's a good thing.
Now, you're obviously the #1 rider on the Red Bull KTM team, taking a little pressure on that, but the pressure of Eli Tomac behind you, do you think that affected the way you were riding as well?
A little bit, I knew Eli was going to come sooner or later. I tried my best, but he was a little quicker, and then he made up a lot of ground. Maybe some of my lines, I was losing some time, but, there's so many ruts. The track was so rough, but it was kind of cool, the crowd get on their feet and cheering on us when we're battling. So that's a good thing, Thanks, guys, for coming, and we'll see you next weekend. Congratulations,
Marvin Muscan with 2-2 for second overall.
Yeah, crowd was definitely cheering. That was good, and we'll show you how good it was with our Lucas Oil race recap. Muscan with a pretty good start, but Josh Grant is going to get the official motorsport.com whole shot award on that green 33. And Grant led for a while. Then Muscan was finally able to get by, just around the halfway mark. See him on the 25 here. The outside becomes the inside.
What's funny was that's where he made the pass for the lead, but it's also the same spot where he would lose the lead by doing the exact same thing. He went to the inside earlier, but watch this. Tomac just drives it in there, pushes Muscan to the outside, has the inside in the next corner, and Eli Tomac finally gets it done through the half pipe. Watch it, squares it up. Muscan tries to fight, but it was gonna end.
Yeah, and Tomac He tried several different things that didn't work, so finally he's just going to have to come into a corner at about Mach 12 around the outside here. Watch this. Blast that corner. Outside line's supposed to be, you know, the slower line. Doesn't matter if you go that fast. And he made up all that distance and was able to get it done. Eli Tomac, who started this race outside the top 10, comes all the way back to win the moto. And he had already won the first moto earlier today. That one was a little bit easier on him because he started up front. And he will be your overall winner for the day as well as the moto winner. Grant, third in the moto. Dean Wilson and Justin Barsha, they'll take that. Solid top fives to begin the season. Jason Anderson salvaging a sixth after not being able to finish the first moto earlier today after a big crash. So he's probably happy with that too. A couple of these guys are going to score points. Everyone in the top 20 does. That's your field. Let's go back to Georgia.
Yes, Josh Grant, what an impressive performance from you. I think 2013 at Red Bull was your last overall podium. The conditions and everything, granted, like you really had a great race there. What's changed up, do you think, for this year?
I mean, honestly, you know, you really have to get a good start. You know, this track was so one line. They ripped it up super deep and watered the crap out of it. And normally that's, you know, not good for racing 'cause it's hard to get, you know, new lines. But if you get a good start, it really pays off. And I'm just, I'm happy to get the Monster Energy Kawasaki up here. I've been working hard, so, you know, just trying to keep it going. And, you know, hopefully we can carry this momentum through the rest of the season.
Now you have Hangtown first round on the podium, but second round, Glen Helen. Moving on to next weekend, you're renowned for being good at that track. It's your home track. You've been around there so many times. Does that excite you after this weekend?
Yeah, obviously, you know, I've done a lot of laps at Glen Helen. It's one of my favorite tracks. And like I said, you know, we just got to get a good start. And I feel like, you know, with how I've been riding there, you know, on Thursdays, it's been pretty good. So as long as I keep the momentum going, stay healthy, you know, and keep off the ground, I think we'll be good.
Congratulations, third overall, Josh Grant. Well done.
A real wild card in this championship, Josh Grant. Especially as Georgia said next week, his home track. He's always fast there. Dean Wilson, fourth overall on the day. Not on the podium, but for Wilson, who's just trying to rebuild his program after years of injuries, that's pretty impressive.
Well, look how far back he came from the first moto to get a 10th. So overall, he's fourth, but he may have been better than that. Tickle behind him, Baggett, he was up there as well. Webb, maybe not the second moto he would hope for. Seeley, decent. Barsha, Bogle. A lot of the guys we expected up there, I'm sure a lot of people go home and be able to dissect this race and figure out how to get better. And they're all going to be catching that man, Eli Tomac.
Yeah, the first race not always an exact indicator of how the rest of the season's going to go. Let's go back to Georgia.
Dean Wilson, wow, jumping on the Husqvarna this year. An impressive performance from you there, getting fourth place in that moto. Did you expect to be where you're at? I know the first round, you never quite know until you get racing.
Yeah, I mean, it's been about 4 years since I've been here in Hangtown, and man, I've been honestly working really, really hard. And first moto had a fall and ended up 10th, and then really put a lot of energy out for that one, and then same for this one. So I'm definitely pretty tired. Happy to get fourth, and you know, definitely big ups to everybody cheering me on and kept me pushing throughout the moto.
Well, congratulations, well done, Dean Wilson, with fourth in the second moto.
These guys worked hard, especially having to come from the back in the first one, as Wilson alluded to. Here's their point standings after at Muscan. Only a small gap back from Tomac, all hoping to maybe take advantage of a mistake and get right back in the hunt. And Barsha and Vogel rounding out your top 10 in the series because they rounded out your top 10 today. Speaking of Barsha, let's talk to him.
Yes, Justin Barsha, we have missed you. I know you've been through injuries, but you're back. Second moto, you really did show some speed in there. I just said to Dean as well, coming into the season, you never quite know where you are. Yeah. But how do you feel?
Yeah, I crashed the first moto, charged hard, and rode good. That moto was up front pretty good, and rode my best. It's been a tough go, but my whole JGR Moto Trader Suzuki team has been working hard. Monster, Alpine Stars, Scott, Ride, just everyone for sticking behind me. I've been busting my butt. It was a hot day out here, and unfortunately, first moto wasn't so good, but the second moto was better, and we're just going to keep on building.
Well, congratulations on the second moto. We look forward to next weekend. Thanks, Justin.
As I alluded to, certainly positive things for several riders who needed to come in here and put in solid results, Barsha and Wilson among them. Here's your Lucas Oil upcoming schedule. We'll have highlights of Hangtown on NBCSN in a couple of days. Round 2 is Glen Helen in San Bernardino, California. MAV TV, as always, has our first motos live, and the second motos will air on NBCSN. There'll be a highlight show midweek as well, or you can watch every race and also practice on the NBC Sports Gold app. So check that out as well. Now here comes the 50-pounder. Eli Tomac, you put in about an hour and 15 minutes of hard work on a motorcycle. Let's see if you can get that thing up. That's not going to be easy. All right, yeah, just hold it. Yeah, just hold it down. Okay, I understand. Hey, I don't think anyone would have been shocked to hear that Eli Tomac came in and put in the 1-1, but the challenge that the other riders put to him, that's pretty surprising. Marvin gave him a heck of a run.
Yeah, it's exciting to see, and it lays out the program for the rest of the season. I think these guys are going to battle for a long time. I see Muskin getting a win soon. Other guys stepping up. 250s was incredible. Osborne getting his first win.
Definitely fun to watch. For Georgia Lindsay and Grant Langston, I'm Jason Wygant saying thanks for watching. Congrats to Eli Tomac and Zach Osborne, and we'll see the rematch between all these riders next week at Glen Helen.